Dear friends, English literature, romantic poetry, selected poems of Percy Bysshe Shelley Adonais, short questions with answers. Short questions 21 to 26. Question 21. Bring out the classical elements in Adonais. Answer. In Adonais, we find both classical and romantic elements. The form, pastoral convention, use of Greek legend, anthropomorphism, and Platonism are classical elements in the poem. Form. Adonis is an elegy on the death of Keats. It is written in the form of an elegy which itself was originated in classical literature. Pastoral Convention. Shelley's use of the Pastoral Convention is also classical. For his primary models, Shelley took two Sicilian Greek poets, Bion and Moschus. In Moschus, groups and gardens, nymphs echo the loves, towns and cities, the muse and pastoral poets mourn for Bion. In Bion's Lament, Shelley found the death of Adonis from the attack of a boar and the description of that corpse in death. The Greek legend. The use of Adonis legend is also classical. In the Greek legend, Cypris laments over the death of her lover Adonis, who is killed by a boar. And in Adonais, Urania mourns the death of her son Adonis, who represents Keats. Anthropomorphism. In the poem, Shelley shares the view of the Greeks regarding nature. Like the Greeks, he personifies different objects of nature such as morning, thunder, ocean, winds, echo, spring, etc. Platonism. Platonism is a major classical element. Like Plato, Shelley believes that there exists one universal spirit which governs the universe and moves through it, giving it shape and form. Question 22. Trace the romantic elements in Adonais. Answer. In Adonais, we find both classical and romantic elements. The romantic elements we find in the poem are as follows. Love of nature. Love of nature is a romantic element. Shelley looks upon nature as an infinite source of inspiration and an object of love and admiration. In Adonais, he draws images from nature very skillfully. Because of the death of Keats, for example, spring is wild with grief, and it makes her through her flower buds down as if she was autumn, who kills the buds. Hyacinth and Narcissus become pale at the death of Keats. Thus, the nature images present the mood of enraptured joy associated with the season. Bogginess. Fondness for the vague and indefinable is another characteristic of Romanticism. We find vagueness sometimes in Shelley's treatment of nature. For example, some of the images of Adonis are extremely hazy and incomprehensible. Self-revelation. Self-revelation is a major romantic element. In the poem, Shelley imagines himself to be friendless as he is disliked and avoided by his countrymen. He compares himself with Actaeon of Greek myth. Just as Actaeon fled in fear after being changed into a stag, Shelley ran away in confusion from vision after perceiving the naked loveliness and great truths of nature. Just as Actaeon was torn to pieces by his own hounds, Shelley was torn by his own thoughts. Just as Actaeon's hounds could not recognize him, Shelley's countrymen could not recognize his genius. Question 23. Write a short note, pastoral elegy. Answer. An elegy is a poem on the death of someone, and pastoral suggests that the elegy is related to shepherd and rustic life. Pastoral elegies are poems in which the poet speaks in the guise of a shepherd in a peaceful landscape and expresses his grief on the death of another shepherd. The pastoral elegy is highly conventional, generally opening with an invocation that is followed by a statement of the poet's grief and subsequent description of a procession of mourners. The pastoral elegy also usually involves a discussion of fate or some similarly philosophical topic. It borrows images, allusions, and even the setting from the pastoral world of antiquity. The most famous example of the pastoral elegy is Lycidas, 1638, by the English poet John Milton. Other examples of pastoral elegies are Percy Bysshe Shelley's famous elegy on John Keats' Adonais, 1821, and Matthew Arnold's Thyrsis, 1866. Question 24. Write a short note on Adonis. Answer. Adonis was the son of Smyrna by her own father, Theus, king of Syria. She conceives the child by her father through trickery. When Theus finds it out, he is determined to kill her, and then gods turn her into a nymph, into a myrrh tree. 9 months later, the baby Adonis comes out of the tree. Being moved by the beauty of the child, Aphrodite Urania, queen of love, sheltered him and entrusted him to Persephone, queen of death. But Persephone was so taken by Adonis' beauty that she refused to give him back to Aphrodite. The dispute between the two goddesses was settled by Zeus. Adonis was to spend 1/3 of every year with each goddess, and the last third wherever he chose. He chose to spend 2/3 of the year with Aphrodite. During a summer hunt, Adonis pierced a wild boar with his spear, wanting but not killing the beast. In revenge, the boar charged Adonis and stabbed him with his tusk, causing a wound that eventually killed him at an early age. He died in the arms of Aphrodite, who came to him when she heard his groans. Question 25. Write a short note on Urania. Answer. Urania was in Greek mythology the muse of astronomy and a daughter of Zeus by Mnemosyne, and also a great-granddaughter of Uranus. Urania is also known as Venus or Aphrodite, who is Adonis' lover in the myth, is written in Adonais as the young man's mother, possibly because Keats had no lover at the time of his death. Urania was not beside her son when he died, because she was at that moment engaged in her own region of ideal love and beauty. When she is called upon, she comes to mourn the death of her son. She is grief-stricken and afraid of her lonely life because of the death of her dearest son. Urania is compared to a misty, windy night in autumn. She passed like a gloomy autumnal night. She attacks the Tory reviewers and laments that as she is immortal, she cannot join Keats in death. She mildly rebukes Keats for venturing so early into the den of hungry dragon, the critics, by taking to a poetic career. She blames him for leaving the accepted traditions of poetry to write something fresh and original. As he was young in age, he did not achieve maturity to defend himself. She thinks that Keats should have waited for the maturity before releasing his work to the public. Question 26. Write a short note on Actaeon. Answer. Actaeon in Greek mythology was a Boeotian hero and a hunter. He accidentally saw Diana's chaste goddess of the hunt naked body while she was bathing on Mount Cithaeron. It angered the goddess, and she changed him into a stag and robbed of his ability to speak so that he could not tell any mortal that he had seen Diana's naked body. Actaeon thereafter fled in fear and then was killed by his own hounds, failing to recognize their master. Shelley compares himself to Actaeon because just as Actaeon had seen the naked beauty of Diana, Shelley had seen the naked loveliness of nature. By the naked loveliness of nature, he means the purest beauty of nature, the mysterious secret of nature. The person who perceives these truths, his soul is filled with great thoughts, which he cannot control or bear. Just as Actaeon fled in fear after being changed into a stick, Shelley ran away in confusion from vision after perceiving the naked loveliness of nature, that is, great truth. Just as Actaeon was torn to pieces by his own hounds, Shelley was torn by his own thoughts. Just as Actaeon's hounds could not recognize him, Shelley's countrymen could not recognize his genius, so he compares himself to Actaeon. Thank you, friends, for watching my video.